Grandma Mary here, and I'm here today to talk about Facebook's promoted posts. I'm here to especially answer the question, are Facebook's promoted posts worth it? And I've got an answer for you, and the answer is no. So if you want to save yourself some time, just stop watching right now and you can move on with your day and go get a cup of coffee. No, all right, that's the short answer. The long answer is sometimes, okay? I hate to be kind of, wishy-washy about it, but I'm saying for the most part, no. Maybe occasionally you can use the promoted post feature for some specific things. So, with that in mind, let's talk about all kinds of goodness with the promoted posts. I want to show you how they work, where you find them, how do you get back to them, how do you figure out if it's working, and what to promote. Woo! That's a lot to cover in one video, huh? We're going to go quick, people, okay? So keep up. So let's talk about I'm going to show you a couple examples of some promoted posts so you can see, kind of how they work and what makes sense to do it when. So here's a couple of examples. Here's one I promoted just recently. It was a quote. Now, why am I promoting just a plain old quote in the promoted post? And what is a promoted post? Let's answer that question first. God, I'm jumping ahead. I'm getting excited. So, promoted posts is a way for you to get your post into the news feed of people, of your fans who may not be seeing it already. So typical fan reach might be something like 24%. You can see here in this 24%. Now say I want to reach more people. I want to get out to more of my peeps with this particular post. I can choose to promote it. And I could say, I want to spend $10 on it. Maybe I only want to spend $5 to reach an extra 800 people who haven't seen it, something like that. So you can just quick, boom, boom. It's already tied up to your if you've already used Facebook ads, it's tied to that payment plan. It's easy peasy to get it started. You just say, boom, save, promote, and it starts pushing it out to fans who maybe haven't seen it. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean they're actually reading it? No, not necessarily. As you know, Facebook pages aren't appearing in all your fans' news feeds because maybe they've stopped interacting with you. So promoted posts can be a good way to get back into the news feed and kind of have your fans see you. Now, why would you do a promoted post rather than something like a sponsored story? Well, the sponsored stories appear on the right-hand side. Sometimes people just totally tune them out. They're focused on the news feed. So your sponsored stories aren't showing up, or aren't being noticed by people. But, I've got some thoughts about sponsored stories and Facebook ads myself there, but we'll save that for another time. There's only so much we can cover, people. All right, so the other thing that's nice about the promoted posts is that they're showing up on mobile. There's something to think about right there, because sponsored stories and traditional Facebook ads aren't showing up on mobile. So you're reaching those mobile users. Now, let's talk about what's worth it to advertise. I ran two ads here. One was this quote, and another one was a more of a salesy type of promoted post where I was talking about the coaching rates going up. I wanted to get people on board and maybe get a few coaching sessions booked at the other rate. So I wanted to let people know about that. I ran a sponsored post about that, reached 40% of my audience here, and you can see that I reached almost as many people with the paid part as the organic part. Now, how much did I spend on this? I spent $14.90. So, is it worth it to reach, how much does that figure out? I didn't do the math on that. How much am I spending per person on there? It's fraction of a cent or something like that per person to have them see that. But did they see it and did they book? No. So it was a fair, a coaching session is a fairly expensive little endeavor for some people. So maybe if you're selling something like potato chips, maybe someone thinks, oh, I'm going to go out and get some potato chips because I saw that post. I don't know. I think it's very difficult to sometimes actually sell things on Facebook. It's more of a pull marketing kind of thing instead of a push marketing. You're drawing people in, you're connecting with them. No one actually booked a session because they saw this post. So there you go right there. That's something to think about. But what happened is it did get more engagement than usual. So, I did get 40% of people reached. Let's go and find out more about this ad. Where the heck do you find the stats on this thing? Let me show you. So you have to go back to your ads area over on the left-hand side of your personal profile that's attached to the, whoa, where did it go? I think I need to refresh here. What the heck? Okay, you have to go to the ads area if it's showing up. Oh, Facebook. There it is. It's there. All right, don't do that to me in the middle of a training video here. So you go to the ads area. It's under the little apps section. You click on that, and then you're going to get into your ads campaign area, and there they are. There's where you can get some more information. It's the promoted posts area, and you could rename this if you wanted to kind of be more meaningful than post number 585364, whatever that is. You could rename it. So let's take a look. Here's the one I ran about the coaching, and no, I don't want to rename it now. I want to look at it. You click on it to look at the stats there. So now I can see that it had 6 clicks on it, so people did look at it. They clicked on it to check it out. Now I want to keep this in mind for you. It's not giving me all the information because I'm showing the last 7 days as the default. So you have to go and make sure you're seeing all the information and actually see it when the ad ran, because it ran longer ago than 7 days ago. It just was a little bit tail end, ran into that week ago. So make sure you're selecting the right features here to get the whole campaign deal. So I spent a total of $15.09 on this ad, and it's saying that I got 19 clicks total. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's 19 clicks. So it's adding them all up from this little hump. So 19 clicks, I got 19 people to know more about my coaching sessions. That might be worth it to you. Maybe that's all you're looking for, just to bring about awareness, because that's where I think these promoted posts work well, is to bring about awareness and get some engagement. I don't think they're necessarily that good for true sales. So that's where the maybe comes in right there. Now let's look at the other post I ran on that quote. So the quote was, when boring people call you crazy, the obvious thing to do would be take it as a compliment. That's my motto right there. That's my life motto right there. So let's take a look at what I spent here so far. Now, I just started running this, but it's already, I think, performing a little bit better than the other ad. And here's why: because it's more fun and more interesting. So what this is getting me is more engagement that I would have normally gotten. I reached 30% of the people so far, and I've got some more paid, but I had a lot of organic so far. Again, the campaign is just starting, so maybe this is a little shooting the gun here, or jumping the gun, or something with the gun, and not giving you the total picture. But I was excited to get this post out. So, but I'm getting more engagement on this because it's a fun post and it's showing up in people's news feeds. So what this post is doing for me is it's getting my edge rank score up a little bit more than might have been before. It's showing this fun post to people who may not have seen my posts recently, and they're like, oh yeah, Grandma Mary, she's funny. All right, so I'm going to click like, and then when they click like, they're more likely to see my next post. So it's bringing that engagement back in, and that's where I think that these promoted posts can work for you well, is bringing that engagement back in bringing people back in from the mobile market, and it might be worth it to run a promoted post once a month to get that, get that engagement back up. But let's look a little bit deeper at this and find out if that engagement is really working for me. So let's go and take a look at that in Insights. So you go into your Insights area, and now what we want to look at is the posts themselves to see what's getting engagement and if this one is getting a lot more. In just a second, as we wait for Facebook to populate all the data. Here we go. So we got all the posts coming in just a minute. Hang tight, everyone. Should have had this one up a little bit sooner. All right, so here we go. So we got the talking about this number, and you want to sort on this column. So click this to sort on it to find out your engagement for every post. And you can see that that quote of the day here is pretty high. But I'm also doing well on my own. I'm not doing too shabby by just thinking of engaging things to post and posting some hot tips and some funny pictures sometimes and, some other goodness. So little comments about scams and things like that, those are doing pretty well. So you might want to say, hey, I can do okay on my own without needing the promoted post to get that engagement. That's a possibility too. But you have to think you're also maybe reaching past some people you may not have already reached. So what's the moral of the story here? I think in general, promoted posts aren't worth it. You can tell me if you disagree in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I think they can be okay to bring people back in from time to time, but I wouldn't go out and spend a lot of money on it. I'd go get yourself a couple of lattes down the street and have some enjoyment there, and then think it's, while you're on that caffeine buzz, you can think of some good posts that'll get your own engagement. So there you go. There you have it. Everything you need to know about promoted posts. Hope you enjoyed it, and talk to you next time.